The air hung heavy with the scent of decaying leaves and damp earth. The only sound was the rhythmic chopping of crickets, a soundtrack to the unsettling quiet that clung to the village of Uzama. It was the night of the Igui festival, a time to honor the ancestors, but this year, a chilling fear had settled over the land. Whispers of a shadow, a spirit with eyes like burning coals and limbs that stretched beyond reason, had begun to creep through the forest surrounding the village. They called it Agboese, the Old Forest. A young man named Ehai, his face pale under the flickering light of the oil lamp, sat in the dusty confines of his mud brick home. He had heard the stories, too, about Agboese. The stories were passed down through generations, cautionary tales about a spirit that lingered in the heart of the forest, a guardian who protected the ancient secrets of the earth. But this year, the whispers were different. They spoke of a restless spirit, angry, and searching for something. Ehai's father, a respected elder of the village, had spoken of a ritual to appease the spirits, a dance performed only under the full moon. The dance, called the Ekoro, was said to honor the spirits of the forest, to remind them of their role as protectors, not tormentors. But the full moon had been obscured by an impenetrable veil of clouds for days, leaving the villagers in a state of uneasy anticipation. Ehai, fueled by a youthful sense of bravado and a deep-seated fear for his family, decided to face the spirit himself. He would go to the heart of the forest, to the very domain of Agboese, and plead for peace. His mother, her eyes filled with fear, tried to dissuade him, but Ehai was determined. He would become the bridge between the living and the dead, the protector of his village. Armed with nothing but a rusty machete and a heart filled with fear, Ehai entered the forest. The trees, ancient and gnarled, seemed to reach out with skeletal fingers, their branches clawing at the sky. The air grew thick with a suffocating humidity, the silence broken only by the rustling of leaves and the eerie creaking of branches. As he ventured deeper, Ehai heard it, a low, guttural moan echoing through the forest. He froze, his heart hammering against his ribs. The moan grew louder, closer, until it seemed to be right behind him, a malevolent presence breathing down his neck. Ehai turned, his eyes scanning the darkness, searching for the source of the sound. A figure emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing red against the darkness. It was tall, impossibly so, its limbs elongated and twisted like gnarled roots. Its skin was the color of decaying leaves, its mouth a gaping maw filled with jagged teeth. Agboese, the spirit of the forest, stood before him. Terror gripped Ehai. He knew this was no mere legend, no figment of the imagination. This was a creature of pure darkness, fueled by an ancient rage. Ehai, remembering the Ekoro dance, started to move his arms, his legs, mimicking the steps he had seen his elders perform. He chanted the words of the Ekoro, the ancient words of honor and respect, his voice trembling with fear. Agboese, the spirit of the forest, watched him, its eyes burning with a menacing curiosity. The spirit's moan subsided, replaced by a low growl that resonated through the forest. Ehai, fueled by the desperate hope that his ritual might appease the spirit, continued to dance, his every move echoing the ancient rhythms of the forest. As he danced, Ehai noticed a change in Agboese. The spirit's anger seemed to ebb, replaced by a deep sorrow. Ehai, emboldened, pressed on with the dance, pouring his heart into the ancient rhythms. The air around him seemed to grow lighter, the oppressive silence lifting. He continued to chant, his voice now a powerful, resonating hum. The dance ended, and a silence fell over the forest. Ehai, his body trembling with exhaustion, looked up to see Agboese, its eyes no longer filled with rage, but with a profound sadness. The spirit turned, its form flickering, and disappeared into the darkness. Ehai returned to the village, his heart heavy with the weight of what he had seen. He had faced the spirit, he had danced with the dead, and he had survived. He knew that the forest held its secrets, its legends, but he also knew that the spirits that dwelled within were not always malicious. They were, after all, guardians, protectors of the ancient balance of the world. The villagers, seeing Ahai return safely, breathed a collective sigh of relief, rejoicing and paying tribute to the hero of the village. The cloud cover over the village began to dissipate, revealing a full moon, bathed in a soft, silver light. The Igui festival began, a celebration of life and a reminder that in the face of fear, a young man risked his life for the sake of many.